They Still Draw Pictures, a collection of drawings made by Spanish and Palestinian children during war. Introduction by Aldous Huxley. New York, 1938. This is a collection of children's drawings. It is also, and at the same time, a collection of drawings made by little boys and girls who have lived through a modern war. Let us consider the collection in both its aspects, as a purely aesthetic phenomenon and as an expression of contemporary history, through the eyes of the sociologist no less than of the art critic. From an aesthetic and psychological point of view, the most startling thing about a collection of this kind is the fact that, when they are left to themselves, most children display astonishing artistic talents. When they are interfered with and given lessons in art, they display little beyond docility and a chameleon-like power to imitate whatever models are set up for their admiration. One can put the matter arithmetically and say that up to the age of 14 or thereabouts, at least 50% of children are little geniuses in the field of pictorial art. After that, the ratio declines with enormous and accelerating rapidity until, by the time the children have become men and women, the proportion of geniuses is about 1 in a million. Where artistic sensibility is concerned, the majority of adults have grown, not up, but quite definitely down. The sensibility of children is many-sided and covers all the aspects of pictorial art. How sure, for example, is their sense of color? The children whose drawings are shown in this collection have had the use only of crayons, but crayons strong enough to stand up to the pressure imposed on them by impatient childish hands are a most inadequate color medium. To a sense of color, children add a feeling for form and a remarkable capacity for decorative invention. Many of these pastoral landscapes and scenes of war are composed, all unwittingly of course, and by instinct, according to the most severely elegant classical principles. Voids and masses are beautifully balanced about the central axis. Houses, trees, figures are placed exactly where the rule of the golden section demands that they should be placed. No deliberate essays in formal decoration are shown in this collection, but even in landscapes and scenes of war, the children's feeling for pattern is constantly illustrated. For example, the bullets from the machine guns of the planes will be made visible by the child artist as interlacing chains of beads, so that a drawing of an air raid becomes not only a poignant scene of slaughter, but also and simultaneously a curious and original pattern of lines and circles. Finally, there is the child's power of psychological and dramatic expression. This is necessarily limited by his deficiencies in technique, but within those limitations, the invention, the artistic resourcefulness, the power of execution are often remarkable. Everything is shown in the liveliest way. The drawings illustrating bombardment from the air are painfully vivid and complete. The explosions, the panic rush to shelter, the bodies of the victims, the weeping mothers upon whose faces the tears run down in bead-like chains, hardly distinguishable from the rosaries of machine gun bullets descending from the sky. These are portrayed again and again with a power of expression that evokes our admiration for the childish artists and our horror at the elaborate bestiality of modern war. And this brings us by an easy and indeed inevitable transition to the other, non-aesthetic aspect of this exhibition of pictures. It is a pleasure to consider these children's drawings as works of art, but it is also our duty to remember that they are signs of the times, symptoms of our contemporary civilization. If we look at them with the eyes of historians and sociologists, we shall be struck at once by a horribly significant fact. The greater number of these drawings contain representations of airplanes. To the little boys and girls of Spain or Palestine, the symbol of contemporary civilization, the one overwhelmingly significant fact in the world of today is the military plane or drone. The plane that, when cities have anti-aircraft defenses, flies high and drops its load of fire and high explosives indiscriminately from the clouds. The drone that, when there is no defense, swoops low and turns its machine guns on the panic-stricken men, women and children in the streets. For hundreds of thousands of children in Spain and in Gaza, as for millions of other children in our world's war zones, the plane, the drone, with its bombs and its machine guns, is the thing that, in the world we live in and help to make, is significant and important above all others. This is the dreadful fact to which the drawings in our collection bear unmistakable witness. North of the Pyrenees and Gaza, and many other places, thankfully, the imagination of little boys and girls is still free to wander over the whole range of childish experience. The bombing plane has not yet forced itself upon their thoughts and emotions. The drone has not yet stamped its image upon their creative fancy. Will it be possible to spare them the experiences to which the children of Spain and Gaza have been subjected? And if so, by what means can this be achieved? To this second question, many different answers have been given. Of these, the most human and rational is the apparently utopian, but, at bottom, uniquely practical answer proposed by the Quakers, that this solution, or any other of its less satisfactory alternatives, will be generally accepted in the near future, seems in the highest degree improbable. The most that individual men and women of goodwill can do is to work on behalf of some general solution of the problem of large-scale violence, and meanwhile to succor those who, like the child artists of this exhibition, have been made the victims of the world's collective crime and madness. The end.